Welcome back to another episode of Start to Finish. I hope you guys enjoyed Mail Call 99, and like I said in that video, following up with this episode of Start to Finish, we have a lot of fix-ups to do. So let's go ahead and take a look at exactly what we're going to be doing. Starting things off here with Seth Rollins. You guys know I just got this Elite in on Mail Call 99, obviously. Here we have the SummerSlam Elite as well. As you guys know, I really do love this head scan. I even made a custom one on, I believe, the first episode of Start to Finish. So what I'm going to be doing is swapping the NXT style head scan onto the SummerSlam figure. The head scan that's on the SummerSlam figure is going to be coming off, and I'm going to be swapping this Elite 37 custom painted from Jesus, thanks to him, onto the WrestleMania Elite. So I think that's going to look way better because I'm not really the biggest fan of this smiling head. Maybe if he didn't have the blonde, I would like him more, but still, we've got a three-way swap over here with the Rollins, so we'll go ahead and put him down. Speaking of Jesus, he also did trade me this custom Chris Jericho, which I showed a little while ago, in his amazing Codebreaker attire. One of my favorite customs, easy. We're going to be going and taking off this head scan, which I'm not that big of a fan of, and swapping on, is this the Elite 3, I believe, or the Elite 4, I should say. Whatever it is, we're going to be swapping it onto this body to make it look way better. Definitely think it is a much better head scan. And once again, I have to give another shout out to Jesus. I don't know if you guys remember this custom Blue Neville. I know Venomine loves it. We're going to go ahead and swap my favorite Neville head scan onto it. I don't think it's going to make this Elite look worse. The custom, the head scan that's on the custom, I should say, this one is not that bad, so I think it'll look pretty good. But to get this amazing Neville head scan on the custom, I think is going to bring it to a new level. So some more head swaps. Moving on to now the figures that I got from Mail Call. We have Heath Slater. We're going to be doing a very simple arm swap right here to get the better arms on there. Also for the wrist tape, I think it looks better. We've got Roman Reigns. I wasn't originally going to do this, but I've decided to now. We're going to swap the heads. I think that's going to look way better. I like this WrestleMania, I believe, what is it, 32 attire? I think I like it more than the regular black and white. I think it's going to stand out just a little bit more. Here's the custom that BW Figs made me a while ago. The head scan on it is a Jax, as you can see, and it's just a little bit too big. So I'm going to be swapping the regular Jeff Hardy head scan from the Elite 58 onto it, which I think is going to look way, way better. We've got two more. I know it's a lot. We have this Randy Orton. We're going to be doing a head swap, and I believe either an arm swap or a hand swap to get the correct hands onto this Elite 35 and also the new head onto the Elite 35 as well. And then finally, we are going to be doing this Matt Hardy, which is basically a combination of everything. So we have an arm swap. We're going to be swapping the RVD arms onto the Elite 58, and then the Epic Moments head scan onto the Elite 58, and then the Elite 58 head scan onto the Epic Moment. So I think it's all going to work out. I think we're going to start with what we showed off first, being the Rollins, I believe. I'm not really sure the order exactly, but I'm really excited to get all of this done. It is certainly a lot that we have to do. And by the way, you can see I have my arena kind of set up. I'm not going to be showing it until it is fully done, so you'll kind of just get a cut-off shot, but it's already looking pretty good. As you can see, the guardrails are really awesome. But let's go ahead and start with this whole mess of customs. So we're actually going to start here with the Heath Slater arm swap. It's probably the least interesting swap that we're doing today, so I might as well just start with it. We're going to go ahead and line them up so we can use the hair dryer and heat up all of the arms. I think I'll actually pose it like this so that I can do it evenly. And there's going to be a lot of hair drying to do today. So we're just going to go ahead and get started here with Heath Slater. Here's the left side. That should be done. Let's see if this one wants to... What the hell? I didn't even know these arms came out. What in the world? I've actually never seen that before. Is that supposed to happen? I don't know. We're trying to try to get this one out, though. This one might be... Yeah, this one's going to need to be heated up just a little bit more. And while I heat this one up, I guess I can also heat up the right arm as well. There we go. There's the right arm done. We're going to go ahead and swap the older Elite arm onto it. So now he has the long wrist tape. There we go. There's number one. We're going to go ahead and try to pop this arm off as well. Easy peasy. Also on the other. Boom. And now time to swap it on like so. And that does it for Slater. Let's go ahead and get a zoom out here and take a look. This looks way better to me. It's just a minor swap, but the long wrist tape, which is obviously accurate to what he's always worn, makes this figure, I think, look way better. The tattoos match up as well, I believe, so it's not like it looks weird because they're on separate figures. Maybe it's a little bit off, actually, but to me, this looks way better, and we can, I guess, put this on the older Elite, although I don't really think I'm going to be using this much, and I have no idea how the hell this happened. I think it's because I pulled it from, like, sort of the elbow. This is so interesting because I've never seen this before. I don't know how this fits in. I'm not even going to try to mess with it. Here's the older one. Here's the newer one. Definitely like this a lot more. Very much a fan of this. Alright, we're going to move on from Heath Slater, who I know all of you care about so much. And let's go ahead and pick another one out of the bunch. And why not just do Jericho right here, since we only have to heat up one body and two heads. So we're going to go ahead and place it like so. Let me go ahead and get a zoom down right over here. And heat up both heads at the same time, hoping this head doesn't go flying as I'm trying to heat it up. Alright, let's do that. Okay, Jericho should be done. Let's go ahead and get fix the camera a little bit right there. Jericho should be done. I believe this was torso cracked, though no worry. Okay, head's off and head is on. There we go. Actually, this was not torso cracked, I can tell. And another big improvement right over here. This head scan is 1,000 times better than this one right here. Just not a big fan of this one at all. Just got a weird expression, but this Elite 4, I believe it is, looks so much better on this body. Definitely fits it a lot better. Matches the period, of course, where Jericho wore the Codebreaker tights, which is probably my favorite, I think, Jericho tights of all time. Just that era of Jericho. I remember it when he returned finally. It was just a crazy moment, and that's what this reminds me of. I got to get some accessories on him, though, to definitely complete him, and also put the old Intercontinental Champion with him. I think that'll look really awesome. So this Jericho came out amazing. Let's move on now. I dropped the head on the floor, not that big of a deal. To everyone's favorite, Roman Reigns, right over here. Here's Roman. Just a head swap. Roman Reigns head scans are kind of annoying to swap sometimes, so I'm going to definitely heat this up a little bit longer, and then let's see how it looks with the bearded head scan onto the WrestleMania. So let's do that now. I'm actually going to do this one at a time, I think. I think it's going to be, no, we'll just do it like this, I guess. So it was definitely longer, even though it might not have seemed like it because I obviously sped it up. Let's see if this will come off. Roman head scans are actually really annoying to swap. Man, I don't think this is going to come out. Maybe from the back it will be easier. I think. Yep, from the back. Okay. Note to self, swap Roman head scans from the back. Actually never really done it like this before. Trying to see. And boom. Okay, there we go. Head scans are off. So there you go. There's a little tip there. You know to swap your Roman Reigns head scans from the back because the front part it's hard to do with the beard in the way. Let's go ahead and line this up and now push down to swap it on. There we go. There's the first one. And then here we have the second one right here. So this is obviously the one I'm least excited for just because, I mean, it's got the new body. It doesn't look terrible. I don't hate this Roman head scan. Maybe I'll buy that old Screaming one just to make this one look interesting. But yeah, not really the biggest fan of that one. However, this guy looks incredible. I mean, I just love this Roman head scan, so maybe I'm biased. But on this body, which is one of my favorite Roman attires in the gold, looks awesome. Really brings out the best. And I also have the elbow pads on there. I know people might not be a fan of the elbow pads, so I'll also take it off so I can show you guys what it looks like. I remember when Roman in like 2015, I think it was, maybe 2015, 2016, when he had that, when he's wearing the elbow pad as WWE champion. Man, these are hard to get off. I was really enjoying that. I thought it looked really cool. Here he is without them, in case you are a fan of the no elbow pad Roman, which he usually has. Still looks really great. Might be one of my favorite swaps so far. I think I definitely like it over the ones we've done just because I love this head scan, but I keep repeating myself. We're going to move on now from everyone's favorite Roman to, I think we're going to go ahead and do Randy Orton. So I forgot who it was, and I apologize for not knowing the name, but somebody on my Instagram told me that the arm swap doesn't work on these, and I guess because the tattoos don't match or something like that. Let's actually get a look and see if that's the case. Yeah, they are kind of different colors. That might look a little bit weird. I don't think I'm gonna try it. But this one is kind of just scratched up a little bit. I mean, this is an older figure, so it's not in the best of conditions. So we're gonna swap the arms, I think, and maybe even the knee pads as well. So a boot swap or taking out the boots. So we'll see how it looks, and if it doesn't look right, then I'll just end up hand swapping it, and we'll just put it back. All right, let's go ahead and take Orton's hoodie off. All right, let's just go ahead and do this and see how it works. This is definitely good enough to get these head scans off. Here's the first. And then now we have the Elite 35. Ooh, this one actually is not ready. Okay, we're going to heat this up for like another 15 seconds. Now it's good, I think, to pop off. There we go. All right, new head scan on the Elite 35. Let's do that. Boom, there we go. Fits on there nice. Let's pop the old one onto the newer Elite, the WrestleMania one. There we go. Okay, not looking too bad. This actually looks pretty good, I'm not going to lie. This one as well I do like. So now what I think we're going to do is swap the arms. Is this one actually warm enough? This? Okay, I'm not even going to risk it. Let's go ahead and swap the arms and see how it looks. Arms are done. I'm doing the left side first so we can see if this works or not, because then if not, then we don't have to swap it. I don't think it's that big of a difference, honestly. I mean, you can, if you look at it, it's really not. The shades of the tattoo are a little bit different, but I think even if you throw the hoodie on, this will not be that big of a deal. So I think we're just going to keep it. Let's go ahead and put this one back on. Okay, now we can do the right arm and then the knee pads, and we will be set. Right arms are done. Just gonna pull them off like so and put it right back on. It's actually really hot. This one looks fine as well. It's kind of a little off, but I honestly don't mind. And now we're gonna put the other arm on. All right, now it's time to swap or take off the boots from both figures. So I don't think I've done boot swapping before. It's basically the same thing as arm swapping. You just want to pull it off. As long as it's hot enough, it really shouldn't be hard. Take off the knee pads and then put them onto one another. So let's go ahead and do that. If you've never swapped boots before, it's really easy. You just sort of peel it to the side. I think you also can pull it off, but to me, it's just easier to just sort of twist it to the side like that. Comes off easier. Also for this one, I don't want to mix these up, even though I think they are the same. Here we go. We're just going to twist it off and twist it off. Okay, now the knee pads are coming off here. I don't really think I need to tell you how to do that. You just sort of pull it down slowly. Not slowly, but just carefully, because especially right now the knees are pretty warm. If I just sort of pull it as hard as I can, one of the knees might come off or something. So just sort of working its way down. It's not really difficult. I'm sure a lot of you guys have done this before. Let's take those off. Now we need to put on or take off this one. Again, these one you actually want to be more careful with because they are pretty sensitive in the back over here. So just slowly taking off so that we don't snap the back. I've had these knee pads snap a few times just because it's a pretty thin layer of rubber compared to, like you can see over here, if it's warm enough and you just like tug on it, it might break. So let's be careful. I'm gonna try to work it over the knee like so. Here we go. And it's on. There we have one knee pad. Now taking off the other. And trying to do the same technique. Not really difficult. Just be a little bit careful with these. Here we go. And we should be done. Okay, and now these are hopefully still hot enough to pop right back on. So let's do that. Like so. There's one. Make sure we have the right boots on. There's two. We'll take a look at this, but first we're just gonna put these knee pads onto the WrestleMania figure just so that it's still complete and not a part in my bin. We still have to pop the boots on as well after we swap these Knee pads on, there we go. Hope I got the right sides. And the boots should still be warm enough. There's one, and then finally here is two. Okay, that kind of took a little bit of time. Here's the WrestleMania Elite, though. It's not bad at all. It's really not. I just don't... This attire is pretty bland for me, and I'm also seeing this head scan so much that I'm not a fan of it. But here we have the Elite 35, and this to me looks awesome. I've always loved Orton when he's not just wearing, you know, his black attires that are bland, but this blue, let me go ahead and fix the camera, actually, and stand it up so we can get a full look. This blue looks really, really good. And also the hand tape, of course, or the wrist tape, up to date with what Orton is wearing now. Let's try to pose him. Let's go ahead and actually put this sleeveless hoodie on it, which I think will make it look complete. And again, I'm a really big fan of this fix-up. As soon as I got the WrestleMania Elite, this is what I wanted to do. I had this in mind, and now Orton looks way better in an actual colorful. Alright, moving on here now to Jeff Hardy. This was the one I was actually most excited for. I wanted to save it for last, but I also just want to do it and see how it looks. So we're going to go ahead and heat them up. The Jack's head scan might be a little bit hard to get off. Hopefully not, though. We'll just heat it up, I think, a little bit longer. Not risk anything or anything. So here we go. Let's go ahead and start and hope it's easy. Alright, here's attempt number 2 because they weren't ready the first time I tried. This one is definitely off. There we go. There's one. And the Jack's head scan, which I'm hoping is not too complicated. There we go. Wow, you can see that torso is actually really messed up. I forgot how bad it was. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put this head scan on the Mattel head and hope for the best. There we go. And it looks awesome. It looks really awesome. I like the all-black look for Jeff. Unfortunately, there's a crack in the torso, so we're going to try to hide that up. But the figure itself, let's see if we can get a little bit of a zoom out here, looks really, really nice. I think I might actually want to swap the shoes. I think these shoes would look better. I guess I might as well put this on. I don't think it's going to look really good. Yeah, the head is just way too big, but I mean, it's not terrible, so we'll just leave it on. But I think I'm going to go ahead and actually swap the shoes. I think that'll look pretty good, so let's go ahead and do that. I don't think I've ever done a shoe swap before on start to finish, so I'll show you as I go along, but we're going to go ahead and heat up the shoes. I actually haven't done a swap like this in a while, so the way the shoes come off, you can see there's a little bit. Let me try to get my lighting up here so we can actually see it and zoom in. So you can see the peg. It's kind of hard to see because it's all black, but the peg right there, it just sort of connects inwards. It's like you got to push it in and up, kind of. So we're doing like the opposite of that to just swap it off right there. I hope they fit. I'm not sure if they will. Let's go ahead and put on the actual Jeff shoe onto the Custom Elite. Yes, it does. That looks pretty good. And let's take the other one off as well. Essentially what you're doing is just pushing the shoe over and then into the peg. I think I'm going to just do this really quickly as well. I'm just going to do this one for later because it's actually kind of cold, so I'll just reheat it. But let's look at the Jeff figure in its completion. And I love the all black look, but it's also got the blue belt underneath. In fact, I'll just take off the shirt and we can just look and see what it would look like without the shirt. It looks really good to me. It's not the most detailed, I mean, or colorful. It's just got the blue belt and then the white shoes because the rest of it is black. But I think it's pretty simple. Looks really nice. The Jeff head really just brings out the best of this body, in my opinion. But we're going to go ahead now, move on to, I believe, Neville is the next swap we're going to be doing. So I'm just going to put this back on. And then we will be swapping the Custom Neville. Venomine's going to love this swap, like I said, because he's been asking me for that Blue Neville for a little bit of time. Here we go, though. We're going to swap the heads and try to be careful because I do think this is torso swap, if I am correct. So here we go. This is going to definitely be enough. First Neville head scan, the custom one. Oh boy. Well, it's cracked, so okay. That's kind of, that's rough, but we got it off. Oh boy, I might have to actually re-glue that. That was rough, but it's off. And now the actual Elite should come off way easier. Now we're going to just pop this on like so. This to me brings out the best in this figure, just like that Jeff Hardy head. Now we're going to go ahead and put this head scan onto the actual Elite. Doesn't look terrible, but the blue one looks way better to me. Maybe the head sits a little bit high. That might be an issue, but I think this one just sat low. But it does look really nice to me. Love this blue attire a lot, so to get my favorite Neville head scan on there is pretty awesome. There we go. We have that done, and now we're going to look at Rollins over here. We're going to swap 3 heads at once. This might be a little bit tough, but so just 2 more swaps left. This, Matt Hardy, and then we are done. So let's go ahead and finish this up. Here we have the SummerSlam Rollins. Let's see. I think it's good to go. There we go. And this one doesn't actually kind of seem warm enough, so I'm not going to risk it. We're just going to heat up a little bit more again. And I'm actually going to put the other head scan on there so we can heat them both up at the same time. And let's also make him hold it so that it doesn't blow away. This should now just be good to go. Let's go ahead and pop it off. There we go. That was kind of scary. Okay. NXT head scan, or sorry, the WrestleMania head scan, keep calling it the NXT one, on the SummerSlam Rollins. We'll look at that once we are done heating this up. I hope we're done. This Rollins is taking a while. Let's go ahead and put this on. Definitely should be good, and there we are. So let's go ahead and get a zoom out here and look at both of the Rollins all together. I definitely prefer the SummerSlam one. The head scan is just amazing. I absolutely love this head scan. Looks great on this body, so now my Rollins is officially complete. We don't no longer have to use this poop head scan, so this looks awesome. This one, too, I really like the look of this head scan on this body a lot. And the hands are kind of loose because I was kind of heating them up to hold the head, but looks really good. The blonde is kind of on the inside. You can sort of see if I zoom in. Like, if you look at it from this way, you can kind of see some of the blonde, so if I just pose it like this, won't be able to see it. And the all-black hair looks great. Jesus did a great job painting it up. Looks really good on this body. So we are done with Rollins, and we now move on to our last swap, which, again, involving 3 different figures. We've got the Matt Hardy head swaps, and then the RVD arm swap to get the black wrist tape on the Elite 58 body. So let's go ahead and just do the head swap first, and then move on to the arm swap. There's Matt, head scan numero 1, and now number 2. This one's actually molded differently. Alright, we gotta heat this up one more time. I think I'm gonna try, no, it's not like Roman. Okay, this should be good. There we go. Matt is now swapped. Let's take a look. One of my favorite head scans. I was unfortunately couldn't fit into the best head scans video, but that's alright. Let's go ahead and plop this right on here. Like so. Looks really good. Let's go ahead and put this head scan. I think this one is really good too. I'm not going to lie. This is going to look really good. I can already tell. Let's go ahead and just put it on like so. Again. Yeah, it looks really good on this body. This head scan is way better than I originally thought. I think it's close to as good as this one, but this Matt head is just on another level for me. So there we go. Now it's time to do the arm swap. Obviously now Matt is wearing some black wrist tape, so we're going to swap the RVD arms. I think the white RVD arms aren't going to look terrible, but I'm going to have to get another one. I also don't like the head that much on this RVD. I think it's okay. I was kind of thinking about putting a Jax one on there. There's this one with the ponytail I really like, but anyways, I'm getting off topic. Let's go ahead and swap these arms and finish this very long episode. Let's pull that right off. Right arm is done. Uh-oh, might have an issue. Matt has a different peg. Let's see. Will it work? No, it doesn't go in all the way. Okay, well. Alright, we're going to have a little bit of another tutorial here. Let's go ahead and just put this one on, though, for the RVD. And let's go ahead and take the other arm off, and I'm going to show you guys how to fix this problem. I actually forgot that Matt had these special pegs, so here we go. Let's go ahead and heat this up. Wait, wrong side. I know my rights. Okay, there we go. Here we go. RVD, arm off. Matt's arm is off. Okay, so obviously, as you can tell, I'm actually done with this, so I'm going to put it back down. As you can tell, the pegs are different. Let me take this off one more time. You can see Matt has those little pieces on the end that are obviously different from RVD. I'm just going to pop the arms right back on RVD, but you can tell that the pegs were different. So, for example, when you put the arm on it, there's not enough room in the arm to fit fully onto the peg. So we're gonna go ahead and get a pair of scissors, just cut it down a little bit. I would only advise doing this if you know you're not gonna wanna swap it back, because it might mess with the arms a little bit. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get some scissors real quick. So these are still warm, otherwise I would wanna heat it up again. You just wanna use the back end of the scissors to just cut off the part that is extra. You don't wanna cut the middle part of the peg. Obviously that would not be good. It would be harder to swap it back on. So as you can see, I just cut it so it matches what a normal Mattel peg is like. Again, heat it up if you have to, and just slowly work on it, and it should come off. So as you can see now, it matches the normal arm pegs from Mattel better, and we can put the arm on, and voila, it is normal. There's one, and now we've got our second one over here, and we are finished with this Matt Hardy. This looks really, really awesome. Obviously matches what he is wearing now. I didn't think the RVD arms would work at first, but it actually looks really, really good. Let me actually get a zoom out over here, fix the camera a little bit. But Matt is complete. Let's actually get the other Matt as well to compare. I think they both look really awesome. This one, though, is so cool. Again, one of my favorite head scans. Here's RVD as well if you want to see it. Doesn't look too bad, but Matt's are definitely better. And that's going to do it for this episode of Start to Finish. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. This was a big episode. At least it took a while to film. I'm sure when I speed it all up, it won't seem as long, but I've had to do a lot of heating up today. If you guys liked it, make sure you leave a like. Let me know if you want to see more episodes of Start to Finish, and let me know which fix-up you liked most today. I hope I was able to help some of you out with my tips. And as always, stay tuned to the next one. See you guys later.